It's the time of year when everyone's asking about the coming winter, which reminds me of the story of the wise Indian chief who was asked by his tribe if the coming winter would be harsh. Yes, he replied, hurry, collect as much firewood as you can to prepare. The next day, the chief called the local weather service just to check his forecast. Indeed, the meteorologist there said, it will be a harsh winter. How can you be so sure? Asked the chief. The meteorologist replied, because the Indians are gathering firewood like crazy. Indeed, humans have always hungered for predictive signs about winter, and over the years, many folklores have been spun based on the behavior of nature. A common one in the Midwest and Northeast comes from woolly bear caterpillars, the ones that are black at both ends and reddish-brown in the middle. You see them in the fall when they've left their food plants to find a dark, sheltered spot to spend the winter. According to folklore, the longer the black segments on the woolly bears, the more severe the winter will be. Now, some of the year-to-year variability in the amount of black is weather-related, but to the past, not the future. Typically, a wet summer means larger black segments because lots of rain means it was likely a good growing season, so the caterpillars ate more and grew bigger. So it's really a measure of the past season rather than an indicator of the future. Now, in addition, the coloring also depends on the caterpillar's age. They shed their skin half a dozen times on the way to adulthood and lose a little black each time. Then there's this folklore. Squirrels gathering nuts in a flurry will cause snow to gather in a hurry. Now, as with caterpillars, there's a tie-in to the weather, but again, it's to the past, not the future. Squirrels tend to be more active when lots of acorns and other nuts are around, which generally happens when there's been enough rain and trees have had plenty of water to grow. Drought conditions tend to mean fewer nuts. So a squirrel's level of activity is linked more to the past, not to the future. And there are plenty of other folklores from the animal kingdom that supposedly portend a severe winter, including beavers building unusually big houses, thicker than usual hair on horses, and owls calling late in the autumn. Some from the plant world include onions with tough skins, corn husks that are thick and tight, and pine cones opening early. And from the insect world, we're told to look for unusually high anthills, crickets in the chimney, and lots of spiders in the fall as signs of a harsh winter ahead. Now, in the end, much of the natural world does react in fairly predictable ways to the current and past weather. So to the extent to which the past determines the future, there are predictive signs in nature. The problem is, in most cases, there are few consistently reliable rules that relate the weather of past months to the character of the upcoming winter. But we do have good predictability in the 3 to 7 day range. Stay tuned. The extended forecast is next.